Hello, hello, and welcome to my demo for the Cataract's Common Dragon Origin mod. This is also in conjunction with CATR spells, as well as a few other lovely dependency mods such as the Aether that we have, and Iron spells. So I'm going to be going over real quick today a few of the various different custom items and whatnot that we have, as well as the custom powers for these origins, because some people are getting a little bit confused as to how all this works. And there's no real patchouli guide or anything currently, so we're just going to make a quick video. First things first, there are 3 different categories of dragons that we have in this add-on or mod. There is the red dragon, which is our fire dragon. We have the lightning dragon, which is our yellow dragon, and the blue dragon, which is our ice dragon. All of these different dragons have their own unique traits and abilities, as well as their own practical uses with custom items that you can see that go along with them. The red dragon having a custom potion effect, the yellow dragon having custom torches, as well as a custom new drink, and the blue dragon having a new custom armor set. Now, real quick, as we go over these, I'm going to go on ahead and turn myself into these various dragons with commands. I will put the commands on the description as well as on my Ko-Fi. This entire pack here, like the mod, the data pack, as well as the figure avatars, will be available for purchase on my Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/cataracts. And I believe it'll be something around the $50 to $70 range. So a little bit on the pricier end of things, but this did take me about 3 months to complete, so I think it would be pretty adequate. Well, first things first, we're going to head over to the red dragon, and we're going to start going over that. So first things first, command to set yourself to this origin would be obviously your name here. And you're going to want to go to set yourself to CDO Common Dragon, Red Dragon / Dragon. Now you'll see a whole bunch of meters show up here at first. Now all of these meters aren't actually necessary. They will disappear as soon as they are done filling up. It's just a small visual bug on our part, because that's how Origins works, is if you have a cooldown meter that's supposed to be visible, it will not disappear until it's done filling up. So just give it a brief moment, and eventually it'll disappear, and get all that clutter off of your screen. But the key main things to notice here is that there are a few factors to playing as Dragon. One main factor is obviously flight. If I go to the common dragons here, you'll see we have the different common dragons available. I'm going to go with the red, because that is the one we are currently testing. Make sure you upload your avatar to the cloud so that it works properly. You can see you have our lovely little red dragon right there. And as you can see, I am now a lovely red dragon. The main key factors to playing as a dragon are not only the wings on your back, but also the different abilities and dietary restrictions your character may have. First, namely being, all dragons are carnivores in this pack, specifically. The common dragons cannot consume carrots. As sad as that may be for some of you, it is a necessity for some of the lore aspects I'll be implementing later as to how these dragons survive in their natural ecosystem. Steak, as you can see, is still fully edible. I can munch on that as much as I want. Now, for the other bars that you see, the yellow and the blue above my hunger, those are 2 different meters for your ability bars. The gold meter, the yellow one, is actually your metal meter. The metal meter is used primarily to gauge how much gold, iron, or copper / ambrosium you have in your hoard, and the different dragons will consume different materials depending on which dimension they are from. Gold being from the nether, iron being from the overworld, and copper and ambrosium being from the aether. So the red dragon, being from the nether, would obviously consume gold. Now, gold and gold nuggets can fill up this lovely metal meter that you have below your stamina bar being in blue. And you can go ahead and just consume it as if you consume food. And you'll see that the ingots will fill it up more so than the gold nuggets. The nuggets only filling a small portion of the bar. Whereas the gold ingots can restore it faster, as well as just a little bit easier for those givos who don't want to munch on nuggets for the rest of their life, you know? So now that my bar is full, you'll see that I have a variety of new abilities that I can access. The main one currently existing in this pack being the Fire Breath ability. So if I go to F5 here so you can see it a little bit better, if I press my secondary ability key, you can see my character, my dragon, will now start breathing fire. This fire will damage enemies and light them on fire, and it lasts for a short period of time. Now, it doesn't exactly do that much damage, so you may be thinking to yourself, hey, what if I want my dragon to deal a little bit more damage with the fire breath? You know, what if I want it to be a little bit more powerful? Well, fortunately, there are a few solutions for that. If I get myself some blaze rods, let's say about 16 of them is required per level. And if I give myself experience, add RX 60 levels, you'll see that I now have gained a new ability. Now this ability is actually how you unlock the next stage in your fire breath, or your lightning breath, or your ice breath. It depends on which dragon species you are, what item is used for this upgrade. Now you can see the different items that we have in the actual Origins menu. If you go down, and if you're not sure what item it is to upgrade, it will tell you right here what you need to upgrade for your ability breath. So what I do right quick is I crouch, press my 4th ability key, and you'll see a little emerald icon has been added to my origin. Now you can see that we are now a fire level 2, which means we had one upgrade on our fire breath. So if I were to go on ahead and do my fire breath again, you see it uses up some of my battle meter, and it also goes on ahead and it'll deal more damage and last a tiny bit longer than it used to. You can scale this up to about 7 to 8 levels above the regular default flame, as well as the default other breath attacks. About 8 levels total for how far you can scale up this damage. I believe at the highest levels of damage it equals up to about 7 damage per hit that the fire entity itself does. So that's pretty darn good. Very helpful for boss fights and whatnot. Now, the fire dragon innately, along with its cousins, has a few other abilities as well. Not just the capability of flight, which we'll get into in a minute. I'll talk about the flight basics. The ability that the fire dragon has is the ability to tear off its own scales, or shed its own scales. Now, if your hunger is full and your health is full, you press ability 3, and you'll go on ahead and obtain some red dragon scales. Now, these dragon scales are very important for the fire dragon, because they can be used to craft a new potion. Now, this new potion is pretty simple to craft. You need to get some nether warts, some red dragon scales, obviously. You head on over to your brewing stand, fill this in, fill this up. Oh, we're at blaze powder. Get some blaze powder, about 20 of it. And you can see as we start to make our awkward potion here. Now, awkward potion is required as the first step to brewing this potion. The red dragons, this is a completely new potion effect. This is not like fire resistance or anything like that. The name may be a little misleading because it is called flame body. But as you can see, once we start brewing here, you'll see that our lovely potion is getting cooked up. And we have a few varying different uses that you can have for this potion effect. Primarily being combat. The red dragon is focused around combat and the offense. Whereas the other dragons are more focused on exploration as well as defense. So now you can see here we have our lovely potion of flame body. And if I go on ahead and I drink this, we now have the flame body effect. So, if I were to, let's say, turn it off from peaceful here, difficulty easy, and summon a Vindicator. You see this lovely gentleman is taking damage from the damage he does to us. Well, as you can see, that Vindicator test didn't exactly work as expected. However, let's say we go up against something a little bit more of a controlled environment. Hey buddy, you gonna hit me? No, he's too friendly. Oh well. But, you know, flame body, pretty self-explanatory. So, next dragon we're gonna get into is, our lovely lightning dragon, the yellow dragon. first we're going to roast this guy. Just a little. Use up some of our gold metal meter, and we will see if we can take this iron golem down in a few hits. The fire that he takes lasts a pretty good amount of time. But we're also only on tier 2 of the fire breath, so it's not going to be terribly powerful. There he goes. Should plant some flowers in his memory. Alright, so now that we've showed off the flame body, we can now get on to the yellow lightning dragon. So first things first, to set yourself to a lightning dragon, this is the command. Now as you can see, I have a whole bunch of meters filled up again. Hey there, buddy. Got a whole bunch of new meters filling up to the top. Once these fill up again, they will also disappear, like the red dragon had. And we will also go on ahead and apply our yellow dragon figure model. Now, the yellow dragon has a few special perks, specifically, namely when it comes to flying, so I figured now would be a good time to do our little flying tutorial. Once these meters are full, we can go on ahead and start. Now, aside from basic elytra flight, there are a few special keybinds that are important to remember for when it comes to actually flying around as a dragon. Now, the first keybind that you're going to want to know is control, your sprint key. So your sprint key can be used to flap midair that will propel you some distance while using up a small portion of your stamina. The amount of actual distance you gain depends on your rotation on a Y scale. So if you are flying straight up, obviously you won't be propelled quite as much. Then it'll kind of struggle. But if you're flying more downwards or level to the horizon, you can gain more lift from that. Okay, so that is the essential flapping maneuver. Now there's a few other maneuvers I'm going to go ahead and teach you. Now first things first, the one that is unique to the lightning dragon is the ability to glide on thermals. Now if you're not flapping your wings, you can press your primary ability key to engage thermals, which is like a hot gust of air that will drive you higher up into the sky without the need to flap your wings or use stamina. It lasts about a short distance, about when that meter on the wings reaches half, and then you can go ahead and slow yourself down by pressing crouch midair. Crouch midair will engage a hovering maneuver, so you can go ahead and hover, and you don't have to worry about using stamina for this one. This one will just slow you down and keep you held in place so that you can make a stable landing without damaging your player. Now the last flying maneuver I'm going to go ahead and teach you is the roll. Now, all dragons have this ability innately, and it is the ability to roll, or perform an in-air dash. Now, this roll ability is used by double-tapping W at a specific interval. Once you double-tap W, it'll go on ahead and it'll cart you forward while doing a quick little roll and releasing a little bit of cloud particle effects. Now, if you don't have enough stamina, this ability will not work. Same for the flapping ability. If you do not have enough stamina on that blue bar down there, you cannot do either of those things. The thermal ability, however, with the yellow dragon is useful because it does not require stamina to function. Okay? Alright. So, next thing we're going to get into is the actual ability that the unique item that the yellow dragon has. First I'm going to give myself a glass bottle. And you'll notice if I'm holding a glass bottle and I press my third ability key, my tertiary ability key, I can go ahead and spit in it. Now this may seem gross, and your spit may be yellow, but you'll notice that the spit actually has a few natural magical properties to it. First things first, you can go ahead, and if you have some sticks, you can use it in replacement of coal for torches, and it'll give you ambrosium torches, like from the Aether mod. Or, if you're feeling a little bit more fancy, you can go ahead and take a few items, and craft yourself some spit ale. Now, spit ale is useful because it has a few innate properties that give you the ability to go on ahead and have a few magical effects to your dragon. Now, obviously this works better at night or in caves, but You want to drink it. You gain glowing, speed, as well as night vision for a good amount of time. This is very essential for the yellow dragon because the yellow dragon has a slower movement land speed than other dragons. So this will help a lot with getting around if you have plenty of these brood. Now they are a little expensive, but they are less expensive than making a full night vision potion. And it's also a little bit easier because it gives you the additional effects. Now the spinning ability can be done once every few minutes or so. A few seconds actually. And once that little electric meter fills up, you can go ahead and do it again. And you can do this as many times as you need in order to fill your trading and potioning needs. I'm going to go ahead and put these away. Alright, so let's go ahead and show off the lightning breath real quick here. You can see this is the lightning breath ability. Oh, wait, hold on, it needs to charge up first. Oopsie daisy. Didn't mean to do that. Just made my guy roar there for a minute. Let's go ahead and do the lightning breath ability. Oh wait, we don't have enough charge. So we need to go on ahead and we need to get some copper or ambrosium for our dragon. Now, the copper and ambrosium, copper is obviously the ingot equivalent for the yellow dragon. You can go on ahead and use to fill up your gold meter. And the ambrosium is a lesser equivalent that you can also use to fill up your gold meter. It is kind of like coal with the aether, so it's relatively easy to find. And it gives the aether dragons an alternative within their native biome to the copper that they would normally use to fuel these electric abilities. Now, as our gold meter is high enough, we can go ahead and press 2 to do our lovely lightning breath. You can see the head there roared a little bit there too, gave us a little bit of demonstration of the animation. And as you say, we can go ahead and upgrade this with a bit of a unique item. So the upgrade item for the yellow dragon is actually a Zanite gemstone. I'm going to give myself 60 of these. Right, so the Zanite gemstones, they're like the iron of the aether. They can be found in various ore locations, just kind of scattered about. And if I give myself 60 levels, that's 160, we can go ahead and I can show you that if you crouch, press 4, you could upgrade this dragon the same way you can upgrade the red dragon, which will enhance its lightning breath abilities to a certain degree. Ta-da! Alright, so next things that we're going to go over is the blue dragon. Now, the blue dragon is the dragon of the overworld, whereas the yellow was of the aether and the red was of the nether. There is no dragon of the end, currently speaking, however we may be implementing this at a later date. The origin set cataracts, origin, go to the blue dragon. See I have a bunch of meters yet again. Go on ahead and apply the blue dragon. And you can see we are now a lovely blue dragon. So, the blue dragon's innate ability is ice. The blue dragon is a master of ice, as well as being predominantly skilled in the overworld with forging. So, there's a few different things that we can do with the ice dragon. And it consumes, for its metal meter, it consumes iron. The iron does give a proportional amount of boost compared to the other metals the other dragons ingest. And this should give us about enough to do an ice breath blast real quick here. Right, so we do ice breath blast. Ta-da! And there you go. There you have it. There's the ice breath. Now, because this is an overworld dragon, it doesn't have anything unique to its dimension, specifically, that comes to mind when it has the upgrade. So instead of doing, let's say, the Zanite gemstones, or so on and so forth, we will be doing ender pearls to upgrade this dragon. So 60 ender pearls, and we go on ahead and give us the 60 levels, and we can go ahead and crouch, press ability key, and we'll go ahead and upgrade our breath attack. Now, the Ice Breath is lovely because it'll also actually slow down your prey significantly when it's struck with the Ice Breath. So, it can be useful in PvP situations, be useful in combat. The Ice Breath is personally my favorite because of the slowness effect that it grants the prey that you hit. The target will be inflicted for about a good minute or so of slowness, so it's very useful to have. Now, next thing's next. Next thing is that the blue dragon is actually capable of crafting blue dragon steel, which is an essential ingredient for blue dragon steel armor. Now, this is something that only the blue dragon is capable of crafting with this arcane essence from iron spells. If we go on ahead and we craft the blue dragon steel, you can see as a lovely ingot right here. And we can go on ahead and we can craft our armor set with it. We've got the pants, we've got the chest plate, we've got the boots, and of course we have the helmet. Now this is, ignore the traits here, these are all the different mod, but the dragon steel is not overly powerful. It's a little bit weaker than diamond. However, it is a good alternative to using iron armor towards the beginning to mid-game compared to the other dragons, which would force you to use regular iron armor. The blue dragon is capable of using this lovely blue dragon steel. Now, it did slow us down a bit because of the special traits we have on it, but that is a different mod altogether. You do not have to worry about experiencing that in your average gameplay if you are not on the Stoneworm mod pack. The blue dragon is also very useful because it has a little bit longer swim speed than the other dragons did. You won't have to worry about the slowdown of the red dragon and so on and so forth. A few special abilities to mention that I didn't exactly go over is the red dragon is immune to fire damage. The yellow dragon has the thermal ability, so it has longer flight, but it has less speed on land. And the blue dragon doesn't have any of those debuffs, or buffs, to be perfectly honest. It's a little bit faster in the water, but you don't have to deal with any of the expensive buffs or debuffs that the red and the yellow would feature. And that's about it. That's about all I have to showcase on this. We will be adding more dragons in the future for the common dragon specifically. However, the common dragon will likely not get as many additions as our other dragons because the common dragon is inherently meant to stay common. It is the most common dragon species that you will find within the overworld, Aether, or the Nether, and I mostly intend to keep it that way. If you're looking for a bit more specialized different origins to fit a certain niche, you can either check out my commissions page, or you can check out the few various other origins and other playable races and whatnot, and models and avatars that we have on my Figura, or Ko-Fi. So yeah.